Hi everyone. Today we're going to talk about a very central concept in Chinese medicine, which is the digestive fire. And we're going to talk why is it so essential for health and strength and just the feeling good in our life. We're going to talk today mostly about Chinese medicine perspective, and I want to keep things practical, very grounded, so you can take some tips and things to try at home, just to try it in your life. And probably we'll have a Q&A at the end. I'll go ahead just a little bit about myself. My name is Eyal Yona. I work at Moshen Center, and I've been supporting people in their healing journeys over 13 years now. And I'm part of a Moshen team here, together with Moshe Heller and Lucia Landirani. In my clinical work, I focus on women's health, fertility, and hormonal balance. People that comes also to get acupuncture for general pain and anxiety. My main tools are acupuncture, rooted in Chinese medicine, philosophy of restoring balance to the body. And I always take an integrative approach with each client, getting to know the whole person, offering support such as mindfulness and dietary advice and Chinese herbs, all to support the healing journey. Okay, so what is the digestive fire according to Chinese medicine? So in Chinese medicine, digestive fire is the energy that transforms food into energy and blood. It nourishes the body and allow all the systems to function. Think about it a little bit as a cooking pot of soup. If you put vegetables in a pot together with water and chicken and spices, but you don't turn the heat on, then what's happened? Those are just sitting there, right? And not really transforming into soup. So the same thing is true to the digestive process. We have kind of this internal fire that when is in good functioning, it's responsible to digesting the food and the fluids, just to break down whatever we're consuming, to produce energy and warming up the body, and to support immunity and overall vitality. So if there is no fire, there is no transformation, and there is no this essential support of heat that we need in our body. Here are some signs if you have a strong digestive fire. So when the digestive fire is strong, it can manifest in a few ways. One, a strong immune system, right? People just like less becoming sick because there is this metabolism process in them that keep them energized and alive. Maybe it's interesting to say that a strong immune system, now we're recording this in winter time, when a lot of people want to take care of their immune system. Maybe a one word about that a strong immune system is based on strong digestion, to the ability to transform food into energy and blood and red white cells, but also good breathing, strong lungs. So to do like breathing exercises like pranayama will be very helpful to keep the immune system strong. And also balanced adrenal system, just to manage your stress level and make sure that you're sleeping enough and taking enough rest. Those are the three things that will help to build immune system. We also have like interesting herbs that you can take in order to boost the immune system. But this is kind of the foundation of everything. So we talked about, again, signs of strong digestive fire. Will be one, strong immune system. Another one is easy and pleasant digestion. After a meal that is soothing us, we often can feel a gentle warmth and comfort in the belly. kind of like a hum, like something is happening there, and there is a healthy digestion that is going on. This is a sign of a healthy digestion. Another sign for a strong digestive fire is healthy appetite. We do want to feel appetite because the sense of appetite means that the digestive system is ready to break up food, and it's very natural. And a steady hunger rhythm is one of the clearest signs of a working digestive system. So healthy appetite is good. And also mental stability and inner calm. The digestive fire is very related to mental clarity and emotional stability. When people feel shut down or exhausted and foggy, unfocused after eating, it's often point to a weak digestive fire. The Western perspective is interesting because talking about modern medical point of view, what Chinese medicine calls digestive fire, it corresponds to gastrointestinal function, like proper digestion of food, nutrient absorption, healthy gut motility and mobility, and reduced inflammation. And how do I know if my digestive fire is weak? So the digestive system is not shy. It let us know very clearly when something is off. Common signs can be heaviness after a meal, gas and bloating, fatigue after eating, weak appetite, a sense of a brain fog, and sometimes also urgent diarrhea or constipation. And I think it's important to point out here that people are born with different levels of digestive fire, and some need to be very attentive and precise with their food choices, and others seem able to eat anything without any consequences, at least not like in the immediate moment. It doesn't mean that their digestion is truly healthy. Yeah. Sometimes the damage can show up later. So it's important to get to know your own digestive fire and kind of be honest with yourself about how weak or how strong it is. And then make your choices of food and how you eat. Okay, let's talk about two main ways to strengthen your digestive system or your digestive fire. Um, One will be to strengthening the fire, and the other method will be not putting out the fire. And both are very important. It's a little bit different ways to look at your digestive system, but both are equally important. Okay, so let's talk about preparing your digestive system before you eat. Okay. So one very effective approach is to prepare your stomach just before meal. It's similar to an appetizer in many traditional cuisines. And you can know those dishes because those can be very popular, and those are like appetizer, and there's a lot of wisdom in it because it's opening up the stomach, opening up the digestive system and the digestive fire. Our goals here is to stimulate healthy hunger, which indicate readiness to digest, also to help the food to descend downward. The movement of the stomach should be downward, according to Chinese medicine. Sometimes we can have symptoms of like heartburn and nausea, which indicate that the movement of the stomach going upward instead of downward. So we want to help the stomach to go down, and there's like certain foods that help us with that. And we also want to gently increase the digestive fire. So let's talk about like helpful appetizers for this for those things. So first, bitter foods Bitter food in Chinese medicine will help to descend the stomach downward and also increase gently the digestive fire. So we can think about things like olives and artichokes, which stimulate the digestive juices. So you can have those like snacks before you start your lunch or your dinner. Um, Another very helpful food to start the digestive process is pickled food, like pickled carrots or beets. Those are supporting the bile and the secretion of bile, and makes the whole digestive process much better. In general, also root vegetables, because they have the tendency, the root vegetables are growing down in the earth and they have this um, trajectory of going downward, and that's exactly what we want in a healthy digestive system. So root vegetables like radish and daikon, they aid the downward digestion. And those being known, like daikon is being eaten like in Japanese food, Japanese dishes, they always have the daikon in the side, or that will be a very common food for them to open up the stomach and for the digestive system to be very strong. Same for fermented foods, um, things like sauerkraut and miso soup and kombucha. Even just small amounts of those can awaken up the appetite and makes the digestive fire stronger. There's also a lot of spices that aid the digestion. Maybe fresh ginger is the most known one for that, but also fennel seeds, oregano, cumin. Those spices really aid the digestion and lighting up the fire of digestion. So those are appetizers that you can eat before. Now, when you're starting eating the meal, we want to eat food that support the digestive fire. And when there are digestive issues, one of the most important things is to focus on how food is prepared. In Chinese medicine, we look not only at what we eat, but how we cook it. Cooking method that involves fire, such as boiling and steaming and stir frying and baking, those are all supporting the digestive fire. The external heat warms the food, break down to cellular structure, and make nutrients much more available for digestion and absorption. And when food is cooked, the digestive system has to work less to break it down. In Chinese medicine terms, this means that digestive fire does not need to struggle, but can function in a steady and efficient and balanced way. Warm cooked foods support the stomach and the spleen, will help to prevent food stagnation, which we're going to talk about soon, and promote feeling of lightness and energy after the meal rather than heaviness and fatigue. And that's very true for this time of the season when it's very cold outside, and I still see people in the clinic eating salads and cold food, which can really be difficult for the digestive process, and it's kind of shutting down the digestive fire. Okay. I think that's an important part that often not being talked about enough, but it's not only about um, increasing your digestive fire, it's also not putting out the fire. And the way to put out the fire is in Chinese medicine, there is an interesting term called food stagnation. And food stagnation is something that can be occasional, but it can also be chronic. Let's talk about like some common symptoms for food stagnation. So maybe you know that from yourself, feeling full or stuck after the meal, pressure or pain relieved by bowel movement or gas, reflux, or food raising up, a sense of food raising upward, nausea, loss of appetite, mental fogginess or irritability. Those are all indication that there is some kind of food stagnation. And why is it happening? How does it happening? So if you're eating too much or too late at night, heavy or complex meals. Let's say you eat a steak with vegetables, but then also a dessert and maybe a soda on the side, and then a few more dishes. Then the meal become very, very complex to digest. And of course, it's also related to how strong your digestive fire is. Eating under stress, snacking before the previous lunch has been digested. If you're eating dessert after a meal, it's usually block the digestive system, and that's not so smart. It's good to wait for an hour or two after you eat the dessert. I know it's not a common habit that we have, but that makes the digestive system much more heavy. And it actually, what this is what it does. It does like food stagnation. Also, lack of fiber-rich vegetables in your diet in general, and food that is too difficult for you to digest, and that's need mostly a lot of honesty to know, oh, can I digest this meal right now? Yes or no, and then do the right choices. I think another interesting topic here is that I didn't read this one, but thick and sticky tongue coating is it can give us an indication of how strong our digestive system is, and that's a tool that we use a lot in the clinic is tongue diagnosis. We just look at the tongue, at the structure and the color and the shape of the tongue, and we can know a lot about how strong the digestive system is. And you can try it for yourself. Just look at the mirror. Usually, when the tongue is pale or wet, if there's some moisture on top of it, it means that the digestive system is weak. And if it's more tending more to the red, it means the digestive fire is stronger. So you can check it for yourself. Um, I think an important part of food stagnation, mostly the important thing about food stagnation is awareness of the cause. So if you know that those things are part of your habits of how you eat, you can just see that in your life and decide to eliminate that. You know, not eating too late at night or not eating too much or not eating when you're stressed, and try to simplify your meals and having less ingredients in one meal. So it's mostly food stagnation is mostly about awareness and how to avoid things. There are also some ways in Chinese medicine that helps to release food stagnation. And again, the moment I release food stagnation is like saying I'm bringing up my digestive fire back again online. So some way to release food stagnation are use of seeds. And we talked about a little bit about cumin and fennel seeds before. Those can be used in cooking, but you can also drink tea after a meal with some fennel seed and cumin seeds that will open up, break up the food stagnation if that's happening for you. Also, cardamom and coriander seeds. Actually, according to Ayurveda, the Indian medicine, the use of fennel and cumin and coriander seed is a good combination for any digestive issue. So you can try that as a tea and drink that before or after the meal. Also, any aromatic herbs and spices are very helpful for the digestive system. They tend to move fluid inside the digestive system and support the fire. So things like rosemary, oregano, thyme, basil, parsley, those can be used again in the cooking. So you know that you're eating something that is already opening up your digestive system and bring the digestive fire up. Some fruits also, plums and dry figs and olives we talked about, also very good for food stagnation. Stir-fried mung beans that is in Chinese cuisine quite popular, opening up the digestive ability for starch like rice and noodles. So they often go together because of that. And also there are traditional Chinese herbs, like Bao Hewan, that is very specific for food stagnation. So that's something you can have at home. If you have, you have like a big dinner soon, like before the holidays, you're going to eat a lot and feel this like stuckness and food stagnation in your stomach, then you can use those specific herbs just to open up the stagnation. Okay, that's about it. In summary, digestive fire is the foundation of health and vitality. And when it's strong, we feel energized, clear, very satisfied after eating, after a meal, with a healthy appetite and a sense of ease. And when it's weak, I think the most important thing is awareness, understanding the cause and being honest with ourselves, what we can eat, what we can change, and making small appropriate changes throughout the day. Food, I think, can be a very powerful tool for self-care. It builds awareness, nourishes us in very ways, in physical, emotional, mental. And when we work with the digestion wisely, we're not just eating, we're cultivating our own health every day. Okay, so I'm going to finish it up now, the recording. Thank you, everyone, for participating.